Today, I wanted to comment on a big mistake that I see a lot of advisors making with their marketing. I call it the relevance question. The relevance question deals with what your audience should care about versus what they do care about. Now, a lot of advisors struggle with this. It's pretty common because the first time someone sits down at your table, whether it's over Zoom or in your office, to talk about their goals for the future, their financial plan, and the steps they want to take to get there, there's usually a knowing gap between what they are focused on now and their ability to reach their future goals. A lot of times we're very short-sighted, especially when it comes to our finances. We're worried about whether it's the month-to-month, the year-to-year, the 5 years, but not the 20 and 30 years. So the challenge that this presents is that for a lot of advisors, your marketing is focused on what people should care about. Now, why is that a bad thing? Of course, you want to educate people into caring about long-term goals, long-term perspectives that will help them have a steady financial plan for growth. The challenge here is that for a lot of people on the marketing side, you're not sitting across the table where you can dialogue and help have a quality conversation to open up people's eyes and move them in the right direction. Marketing is about the hook that starts the conversations. And if you start with the endpoint, what they should care about, a lot of times that doesn't work as a hook. So when you are sitting down and putting together your marketing strategy, you really want to ask this question. Are we only focusing on what people should care about, or are we focusing on what they do care about now? Now, I want to give you 3 examples of practical ways that you can sharpen your hook by focusing on what people care about now and using that to leverage into a conversation of what they should care about and having a healthy long-term perspective on their wealth. Point number 1 is it's way easier to start a conversation around something someone cares about now versus talking them into something they should care about. So the key here is knowing what causes create what effects in your audience's world. We are usually short-sighted until something happens that makes us long-sighted. So some of these are observable from the outside world in, whether it's market crashes, housing challenges. There are things that we can say, okay, these are the principles that help you make a long-term decision, but we'll start by addressing the panic that's happening now. There are other ways you can do this, things that aren't necessarily going to make headlines, and those are life events such as the passing of a loved one, dealing with wills and estates, having a new baby and starting to save for college, things like that. You have the opportunity to meet people on these long-term questions in the moments their life is changing. So whether that's in the headlines or in the major life changes, you want to find moments that their perspective just for a moment has gotten longer and their desire to plan for the future is stronger. Number 2, this one takes a little bit more focus and awareness, but if you can find moments that money is in motion for a specific reason, you can tailor marketing strategies to address that specific reason. I'll give you an example. We work with a financial planner who specializes in pharmaceutical executives. Now, there was a headline that ran recently that AstraZeneca, big name, everybody knows them, lots of people, lots of households, they were offloading their pension to a third-party insurance company. Now, it wasn't a sky is falling, financial default, that kind of thing, but it was still pretty unprecedented for most of the people who are impacted by this pension plan changing. Now, because there was such a knowledge gap, but there was also financial opportunities for unique decisions, things that wouldn't be available to you if you were just in a standard pension plan. We put together a whole marketing campaign from advertisements. We went to LinkedIn, targeted people at AstraZeneca who had been there more than 10 years. And we said, look, here's a webinar, here's PDFs. We want to give you the resources to help you make a good decision in this kind of unusual time. Now, the benefit of this wasn't just that it was unusual, but that there was a deadline to make a decision with that money. So not only did we know this was on people's radar, but we knew that there was a specific timeline that they had to act that we could focus our marketing resources. With things like this, whether you have a niche or you just have something else you can identify that puts a timeline on money decisions, that is a huge way to get in front of people, help get their attention, become their trusted guide. And whether this leads them back to a good conversation with their financial advisor, or more often than not, they see your proactive approach to helping serve them, that is a great way to help people make long-term decisions by getting their attention now. Point number 3, what people care about is not always financial goals and benchmarks. This is important because this is something not many advisors do on a regular basis, and many of the ones that try don't really have a consistent strategy behind it, and that is establishing values, mission, and culture. You guys know it, as advisors, you can't promise results with people's money. So what you're selling is the experience on the marketing side. If you look at most financial planners' websites, they're all focused on things like planning for retirement, maybe college education savings. Whatever their focus is, it's usually less on the values that you hold as a business. It's not just that you value helping people with their money, but what differentiates you as a culture within your business. We work with a client who places a really high value on generating business success so that they can do charitable work with the increase. Now, their tagline is great. It's to help you do well so that we can do good. That by itself is great, but they go a step beyond that. They actively organize charitable projects and events throughout the year and invite their clients to take part. And it's not just charities and causes that they choose. They actively look to align and support causes and charities that their clients care about. It's an incredible thing to say to some of your top clients, this cause you really care about, we want to partner with you in supporting them. Statements made like that get people's attention in the here and now. It's not about their 30-year plan. It's not about making their money last in retirement, but it tells them that this is the kind of person who has the same values for their money that I do. So if you look at your business now and say, you know, I don't think we have a clear culture edge and I don't want to make one up to have a marketing pitch, I want to encourage you, this is a hugely valuable asset if you can genuinely create a culture that stands out to your clients. Proactive service, value on family, gentle understanding. These are table stakes for a lot of advisors now. What you need is to identify a direction you want to take your culture, take significant steps that stand out from the rest, and document it so that you can show this is the kind of people that we are, and you'll find that that serves as a powerful magnet for those kind of people in return. So next time you sit down to write out your marketing strategy with your team, don't start with the question, what should people care about? Start with the question, what do they care about? And then bridge the gap. Thanks for watching The Evergreen Advisor. I'm Dan Kiever, founder of Evergreen Financial Marketing. Catch you next time.